Welcome to Impartial Points and our comprehensive guide on the U.S. Department of Education. In today's discussion, we'll dive deep into the role of this federal agency. We'll explore what it does, how it supports local schools, especially those in rural areas, the various programs it administers, and its influence on higher education. Whether you're a student, parent, educator, or just curious about how education policy works in the United States, this video will help you understand the complexities and significance of the Department of Education. So, let's get started. Part 1. What is the U.S. Department of Education? The U.S. Department of Education is a federal agency that was established in 1979 under President Jimmy Carter. It became operational in 1980. The department was created to promote student achievement and to ensure equal access to education. Unlike education systems in many other countries, which are highly centralized, the U.S. education system is primarily controlled at the state and local levels. This means that the Federal Department of Education has a somewhat limited but still crucial role in influencing education policy. It's one of the smallest cabinet-level agencies in terms of personnel, with around 4,000 employees. However, its influence is significant due to the funding and policy direction it provides. The department is responsible for overseeing federal funding for education, administering policies related to education, and ensuring compliance with federal laws like Title IX, which prohibits sex-based discrimination in education. Part 2. What does the Department of Education do? The U.S. Department of Education has several key responsibilities. Distributing federal funding. The department provides financial assistance to schools across the country. This funding supports a range of programs, from special education and low-income student support to school improvement initiatives and teacher training. Data collection and research. The department collects data on various aspects of the education system, including graduation rates, student achievement, and teacher qualifications. This data is used to inform policy decisions and to ensure accountability. Enforcing federal laws in education. The department ensures that educational institutions comply with federal laws. For example, it enforces the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, which ensures that students with disabilities receive a free and appropriate public education. Promoting educational equity. One of the department's key missions is to ensure equal access to education for all students, regardless of their background. This includes efforts to close achievement gaps among students of different demographics, socioeconomic statuses, and geographic locations. Supporting higher education. It administers federal student aid programs, which provide grants, loans, and work-study funds to help students afford college. It also oversees accreditation standards to ensure the quality of higher education institutions. Part 3. How does the Department of Education distribute funding? When it comes to funding, the U.S. Department of Education plays a significant role in supporting public schools, especially in underserved and rural areas. Although the bulk of education funding in the U.S. comes from state and local governments, the federal government contributes a substantial amount, primarily through targeted programs. Title I funding. One of the largest sources of federal funding for K-12 education is Title I, which provides financial assistance to schools with high numbers of children from low-income families. The aim is to help these schools meet academic standards. Oftentimes, these schools fail to meet academic standards because of state and local level policies. Special education grants. Through the IDEA, the department provides grants to support special education services. These grants ensure that children with disabilities receive the support they need to succeed academically. Support for rural schools. The Department of Education also has specific programs aimed at supporting rural schools. The Rural Education Achievement Program, or REAP, is designed to help rural districts that often struggle with limited resources and geographic isolation. REAP provides flexible funding that can be used for technology, teacher training, and other essential needs. In 2024, approximately $200 million was allocated to rural schools through REAP and related programs. School Improvement Grants, SIG. It also provides school improvement grants to help struggling schools improve their performance. These grants are aimed at schools that have been identified as needing significant reform. Part 4. Various programs administered by the Department of Education. The Department of Education administers a wide array of programs that address different aspects of the educational landscape. Here are some of the key programs. Pell Grants. Pell Grants are a cornerstone of federal student aid. These grants do not need to be repaid and are awarded to undergraduate students with significant financial need. The maximum Pell Grant award for the 2024-2025 academic year is almost $7,400. Federal student loans. The department also oversees federal student loan programs, including direct subsidized and unsubsidized loans, as well as PLUS loans for parents and graduate students. These loans often have lower interest rates and more flexible repayment options compared to private loans. TRIO programs. TRIO programs are federal outreach and student services programs designed to identify and provide services for individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds. They include Upward Bound, Talent Search, and Student Support Services, which aim to help students from low-income families, first-generation college students, and individuals with disabilities. Teacher Quality Partnership Grants. These grants are aimed at improving teacher preparation programs and ensuring that new teachers are ready to succeed in the classroom. The focus is often on high-need subjects like STEM, which means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Career and Technical Education, CTE. The department supports career and technical education through programs that provide funding for vocational training. The goal is to prepare students for the workforce by providing them with practical skills that are in demand in the job market. Part 5. The Department of Education's Impact on Higher Education. The U.S. Department of Education has a significant influence on higher education, especially through its administration of federal student aid programs. Federal student aid. The department is responsible for distributing over $100 billion annually in federal student aid to more than 13 million students. This aid helps cover tuition, fees, room and board, books, and other expenses. Without federal financial aid, many students would find it difficult to afford college. Accreditation and oversight. It also plays a role in overseeing the accreditation process for colleges and universities. While the actual accreditation is done by private organizations, the department recognizes these accrediting agencies, which in turn determines a school's eligibility for federal student aid. Addressing student loan debt. With student loan debt in the U.S. exceeding $1.7 trillion, the department has been actively involved in efforts to provide relief. This includes income-driven repayment plans, loan forgiveness programs, and most recently, proposals for widespread loan forgiveness. Promoting higher education access and equity. The department supports initiatives that increase access to higher education for underrepresented groups. This includes historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, minority-serving institutions, MSIs, and initiatives aimed at supporting first-generation and low-income students. Part 6. The Importance of the Department of Education. The U.S. Department of Education plays a critical role in shaping the educational landscape of the country. Here's why it's important. Ensuring equal access. One of the department's primary missions is to ensure that every child has access to a high-quality education, regardless of their background or where they live. This is particularly important in underserved communities, where federal funding can make a significant difference. Promoting accountability. Through data collection, research, and policy enforcement, the department helps hold schools accountable for student performance. This encourages schools to strive for better outcomes and ensures that federal funds are used effectively. Supporting economic mobility. Education is a powerful driver of economic mobility. By providing funding and support for schools and students, the department helps equip the next generation with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in the workforce and helps provide them with more economic stability. Adapting to modern challenges. In an ever-changing world, the department is tasked with addressing new challenges, from the COVID-19 pandemic's impact on education to the growing need for digital literacy in a technology-driven economy. In conclusion, the U.S. Department of Education is a vital institution that supports students, teachers, and schools across the nation. From funding rural schools and providing financial aid for college students to enforcing equal access to education and promoting teacher quality, the department's work is far-reaching and essential for the success of American education. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the U.S. Department of Education. We hope you found this discussion informative and insightful. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world of information at your fingertips. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who might be interested in learning more about education in the United States.